As always, today's episode of the Band Directors Bistro is proudly sponsored by ironsmusic.com.
For music educators on the go, this is the Band Directors Bistro.
Hi, I'm Mark.
And I'm John.
And we'd like to welcome you to the Band Directors Bistro.
That's right. And today, starting season 3, not only can you hear our golden voices, but you can see our handsome faces from now on too.
That is right. Welcome to season 3 in YouTube, right? So
that's
we have,
right. And we'll still have Buzzsprout. We'll still have our podcast for those who just can't stand the sight of us. So you have a choice.
This is true. Many of you are still listening to you on the same format that you always have, and we wanted to bring to you the same quality audio that you're used to, but now in a video format. So here we are, and John and I are excited to be here. Today's episode of the Bistro is going to be all about inventory and organization. So as we head into our summertime here, just like you and me and John, we are all thinking about what can we do right now to better prepare ourselves for the summer. While we're getting your favorite table ready, John is going to tell you what we have on the menu for you today.
Well, today is going to be kind of a holiday special as we're going through the July 4th weekend. So we're going to be a little patriotic. Today's appetizer, Succulent Summer Sausages. And we're going to talk about summer plans and what we would normally be doing in any other given year. Main course today, oh, you're going to love this. Sizzling Sockeye Salmon Sandwiches. I love salmon.
Sockeye.
And we're going to get into a bit of a repartee about inventory, organization, kind of tidying things up in your workspace, in your band room.
That's right.
And then dessert, the all-American classic, Sweetest Strawberry Shortcake. How much better does that? It doesn't get any better than that. And we're going to talk about some great July 4th memories that both Mark and I have gone through as performers, as educators, whatever. So that's today's menu. Hope you enjoy it.
It looks like your table is ready. Right this way. Ooh, Johnny.
We're getting
Bistro's
popular around
happening
here,
today,
so
huh? Yeah.
It is. It really is. And Mark and I are also instituting a voluntary, it's not required, but a voluntary bit of a dress code. We want to go ahead and upgrade the look of the bistro. We also heartily suggest for any of you, come looking like your best, okay? Because we offer the best.
That's right. As we approach our table here and find our seats, I think I'm gonna just get a little bit more relaxed here, John, and kick off the old coat.
Yeah, it's a little hot for me, so I bypass the coat.
We'll hang that up right here. Nice.
Yeah, you got it.
Excellent. And since we're here, John, and we're about to enjoy some succulent summer sausages.
Sizzling. Oh, yeah.
I know, man. Do you want to maybe partake in a adult beverage? I mean, it is, after all, the bistro. It's after hours right now. Nobody's on the clock.
We're done with the job. It's our social time, and it's a holiday weekend. We're celebrating America's birthday. Yes.
What are you going to be drinking today, John?
Well, I'm looking at a little bit of Johnny Walker Blue today.
Johnny Walker Blue. I've got a nice seasonal summer blend here. John, I'd like to offer a toast to you to season 3, my friend. Here's a cheers to you, buddy. Here's a cheers. Cheers.
Thanks, buddy.
Well,
goes down smooth.
John.
Yes, sir.
Succulent Summer Sausages. We are going to be talking about something a little bit. We spoke before. This topic has the potential to be a little depressing, but we thought it was important because we all know that summer plans have been canceled, straight up, and
or altered,
canceled or altered, but for the most part, because of COVID-19 and the quarantines, we've all had to make some major adjustments, and most major performing artists are not able to tour this summer. So one of the things John and I thought we'd talk about is just some of the things that we normally look forward to during summer, because even though those things aren't happening right now, we can still look forward to those things happening in the future because those things are going to come back. So, John, what's something that you would have done this summer if it wasn't for all this craziness? What's something that you love to do, one of your favorite summertime activities?
Well, this particular activity can be done even this year right now. I always look forward to a great summer barbecue. And I love getting out. We have a gas grill. We have actually a charcoal grill. And I love just, slapping some good, chicken on there, some ribs, even hot dogs, and just grilling them up. There's nothing better, man. And you can do that in the safety of your own backyard as well. So it's something that you don't have to cancel out this year per se. Now, as far as getting outside the house.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're recording this right now, ladies and gentlemen, the day before 4th of July. But we know that when you're listening to this, you will have just celebrated. So absolutely, we hope that you had some amazing memories and some great hot dogs and had that awesome barbecue, even if it was just a little bit smaller than it usually is.
And as far as getting outside the house on any normal year, I would always enjoy a nice outdoor summer concert. Places like the Hollywood Bowl, some summertime music under the stars, whether it be classical or even jazz. Years ago, I had the good fortune, about 96, I think it was. I saw the great jazz rock band Chicago with the LA Philharmonic combined. Fantastic show. I've also seen John Williams at the Hollywood Bowl with the Boston Pops, and that was pretty. Anything like that. Also, as far as my current duties, summertime is also a big time and the best time for us to travel with my little kids. So last summer at this time, I was getting ready to go to Australia, for example. And 5 years ago, we were preparing to go to America. So this is also travel time for my groups over here.
One of the things that we love to do in the summertime is to go to the park. And here in Long Beach, they have this wonderful program called Music in the Park. And we are just not long ago.
We were just talking about that not long ago.
Yeah. Not long ago, we learned that the longtime director of the Summer Music in the Parks in Long Beach, Dr. Larry Curtis, passed away. And he is going to be missed by...
Also longtime professor at Long Beach State. Used to do the marching band at Long Beach when they had it. A legendary director.
He's going to be missed by more than just the music community. He's going to be missed by the actual city of Long Beach. And it's going to be, it was going to be a rough summer without that anyway. But knowing that he's not going to be here when we do eventually return to Music in the Parks just makes it that a little bit more bittersweet. But another thing, you were mentioning concerts, and we love music, right? And my wife and I are very, very big Dave Matthews fans, and we like to see Dave Matthews Band every summer that they come to the Los Angeles area, and looks like this summer is not going to be one of those summers. So unfortunately, no DMB in our future, in our near future.
For this year.
Dave has been doing some wonderful things online. He's been doing a lot of great stuff for charities. He's been playing live concerts. He's been playing live sets. He's been playing new material. So all those Dave Matthews Band fans out there,
many artists are doing that as well.
We are being satiated. We are being at least helped along by some of our favorite artists out there.
And there is one more thing. There is one more thing that for you and I in particular, we would definitely be doing this summer, and that is going to drum corps shows.
That's right. That's right. And we do miss our drum corps. Oh, but Johnny.
We do miss our drum corps.
Look what's here, man. Can you believe it?
Oh.
Ooh.
Man.
I can smell it.
Salmon. Grilled salmon, too. I mean, this is sizzling sockeye salmon.
Sizzling sockeye salmon sandwich. I mean,
and we've got them. We've got them on soft French rolls, a little bit grilled, some fresh, like a bit of a spicy mayo to go with it, a little cilantro. Put it all together, you've got a delectable.
The chef called it an aioli, but if John wants to call it a spicy mayo,
aioli actually might be more descriptive and accurate. I can go with that.
But
either way, it's a great sandwich.
It looks amazing. I don't know why they put these greens on here. They know that I don't eat greens. But nevertheless, what are these, sprouts? Are these sprouts?
Enjoy them. That's a superfood. That gives you it's packed with so much health.
If I ask for ketchup, will anyone be offended? No, I'm just kidding. I would never ask for ketchup with salmon. Yes, I would never do that.
Some people do. Let's get into the main course since it's now arrived, and I'm gonna have. Oh yeah, it's here. Thank you, sir.
Smells so good. Let's get into
Let's
this,
talk
John.
about some inventory and organization, okay?
Yeah. So you're a band director. You've probably got access to that band room, right? We're thinking that most band directors out there have at least access, probably by themselves. They might even have to be wearing a mask, who knows? But you've probably got access. So let's talk about what you should be doing when you get inside that band room. Maximize that time and really make it so that your next season can be that much more efficient. John, what are some of your ideas on that?
Well, start small and work up from there. I mean, walk into your office, at least to start with. How about your desk? Are there, as with many, many band directors, myself included over the years, you look at that desk, are there still documents from 6 months ago sitting there in a pile? Probably. And that's not a bad thing. We all get so darn busy with the job. But that's one thing you can start with, is at least organizing your desk space. Get some documents filed and put away so it's out of your sight if you don't need it anymore. All right? That's one of the first things. If you sit at that desk, whenever you're not teaching, you're going to be at that desk, organize it.
Well, and that desk is also, people are going to see that, right? And that's going to be kind of a perception of your level of organization. So I know, hey, believe me, I was there, right? I don't want to show you the desk that is currently in front of me, but some people say a messy desk is a sign of a good band director. Some people say a very clean desk is a kind of a questionable sign of a band director. Well, it's summertime.
I've heard that as well.
You know what I mean? It's summertime, and that means it's time to clean up that messy desk. Because I think the majority of us probably have that messy desk. And speaking of desk, when you are on your desktop, Now, this is another thing altogether, right? So if you're on your desktop computer and you, like me, are saving everything to the desktop, and your whole screen is just completely full of files, whether band files, audio files, Word files, PDFs. Now is the time to organize those files, make some new folders, label them with years, and this will be easy reference things. And these are things that you're going to want to come back to year in and year out, so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to redo these things. So you're going to want to find them easily, organize them in files. John, we were also talking about, we know there's so many band directors out there who have that pile of music. The loose leaf, every single part in there is a different part. Yeah, that I think it gives me a migraine just kind of thinking about it. But what should we do about that pile? I mean, obviously, this is the time to tackle it, right? So, John, what's the best way?
There are several things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I think in today's world, now that we're in the 21st century and technology is so advanced and at our fingertips, I would, and this is just me, but a lot of directors are doing it as well, I would digitize my library. I would take that opportunity. One of the most essential tools you can have besides a desktop or laptop computer is a scanner. All right, a scanner is an essential tool for us. You can.
Yep.
I would really, take out those songs. It does take some time. Let's be realistic, but it's worth it, because now it's going to be nice and clean and tidy on your computer, and all you have to do is print out PDFs whenever you need to pass it out to your students.
Let's talk about a practical application to this, John, because here's what's going to happen to many band directors. They're going to go into their library and they're going to pull out John Barnes' Chance piece, right? One of their favorites, and they're going to start to scan this thing, and they're going to realize that they don't have the alto 2-part. The alto 2-part is probably in that giant pile over there. So this is where some pre-thought in terms of your scanning and filing and naming really come into play. You want to make sure everything is very universal, however you do it, because at some point you're going to find that file, or you're going to buy that file from Pepper or wherever it's being published from, and you're going to have a PDF of that file, and you're going to want to put it with the rest of that music. So again, saving it, and then if you're looking at that pile of music and you're going to yourself, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? Well, don't look at it like that. Look at it as you're scanning it all, and you're just going to save it in this universal format, and then all of a sudden you're going to find that these pieces will self-populate. So not a matter of, I've seen the band directors, believe me, and I've done it. I've been there, right? You've got the band room that's got 100 pieces of music on the floor, and you're trying to organize everything. Don't do that anymore. Scan it all and let your computer organize it for you.
And remember, you don't have to scan multiple copies of a part. Just, if you got 10 clarinet 2-parts, just scan it once.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
It makes it much easier.
I hope that goes without saying,
but
yeah,
whenever
absolutely.
you want to play it again. I can also recommend an interim suggestion, in the sense that maybe you're not quite ready to put in the time to scan. I get that. All right? You could at least, a lot of times when a piece has been played by a group and they put it away, a lot of times all the parts just kind of get shoved out of order back into the master folder of it and back into the file cabinet. Well,
back in the
next
box,
time when you
back
want to
in the
play it
manila
again,
folder. Yep.
Right. At least you could take some time and go through and organize that sheet music and make sure it's in part order, make sure you have all the parts, and then once you know you've done that, at least put it back in the file cabinet so it's ready to go when you need it again.
Right.
So an interim step still increases your organization and your ability to be effective.
There are so many band directors who put that organization of music library on their list, and I know I put it on my list for 14 years that I was a band director, John, and you know when I got to it? 0 times. 0 times. Because it was too daunting. It was too much. It was always overwhelming. It took an amazing assistant band director, really, is what it took, that just took the time. And this is a shout out to Mr. Matt Matthews, who, got the student volunteers, took the time, and really organized the music library. And I honestly, it had become a task that was too much, because the school I was working at had music going back early in the 60s, and just piles and piles, tonnage of sheet music. So it could get overwhelming. I know what that's like. Use this summertime as a great opportunity for you to tackle it.
If you have the luxury of allowing a few people in with you while you're doing this, let's say a few students or student leaders per se, they could be doing that. You could assign them that duty to say, make sure this song gets scanned in, or give them 3 songs a day or 5 songs a day, that your job is to scan those things in and get it organized.
Right.
And so
they
if
could
you
even
have
take
that
it
luxury,
home.
I've
done that in the past.
Assistance. You can take it home too.
Yeah, I've told the students here, take these 2 pieces home and scan them. That doesn't always end well, because you don't know what their capabilities are at home, and sometimes you get the files and you're like, but yeah, that's totally a possibility. And there's some really amazing technology now. If you've got oversized scores that don't fit into regular scanners, I was just looking online the other day. They've got this really neat new scanner that kind of is like an overhead lamp almost, and it will, even if the page is curved, it will lay it down flat. Oh, it's an amazing piece of technology, and it's kind of used for
a refreshing break. That sounds great.
It's kind of used for comic books, because they want that really high definition art, and they don't want to have to press the comic books flat down. So they're just opening the comic books very carefully, leaving that little fold in there, letting the scanner just boop do its thing, and then it's got this beautiful software that just flattens it.
There you go.
Makes the pictures look perfect. So if it makes a beautiful comic book art look beautiful, it can make your score, it can make your music look beautiful also.
Like whatever you can do now while you got this time, how much, think about this. On any other summer, most of you would be probably doing summer rehearsals to prepare for the fall season, or drum rehearsals, or color guard rehearsals, or July 4th parades, or whatever it might be.
All those
you
different
have that
things
opportunity this particular year,
absolutely,
to focus on organizing. Take advantage of that chance.
And try not to get too overwhelmed and bogged down with the many decisions that are being made back and forth and back and forth. Right? That's one of the frustrating things as music educators that we're all going through right now, is they say one thing one day and it changes the next, or one week and it changes the next. And this is going to be the nature of the pandemic.
But getting organized, regardless of how the messages are being sent out right now, getting organized ultimately is still a big benefit. It really is. So, however the message, even if they say, we're going to have your students back in 2 weeks, if you can take those next 2 weeks and get organized, how much better is it going to be for you? That's what we're saying. This is a golden opportunity to really clean things up. And when the kids walk back in, they're going to go, wow, look at this. And that could be the beginning of of increasing the motivational level of the kids, just by seeing a cleaner room, a more organized room.
And we're not saying you need to be spending your whole summer cleaning your office and organizing your music library. No. We need you. We need you. You need to relax. You need to take that time off.
Right.
You need to rejuvenate. And when you're doing that music library stuff, you should have should have Dave Matthews playing in the background. It shouldn't be it should be a little bit more relaxed of an atmosphere. It's summertime. And even if the kids are around,
in and out, and enjoy
absolutely,
yourself.
Absolutely. If the students are around, buy them a Coke. Who knows, right?
Or a pizza. Order a pizza,
especially if they're helping with that music library, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah. They would do that just for the free pizza for lunch. All right. So
exactly.
Take advantage of your resources. Organize everything. You're going to enjoy your job more if you do.
Oh, another
plate broken. I guess it's tradition these days. I don't know, dude.
It's okay.
We
it's
might
okay.
want to
No, man.
invest
You know
in
what?
some glue.
Beginning
Glue it
of
back together.
season 3. I think.
There you go.
I think the festivity, like can
Like
you hear the
we've
music we
always
got going
said.
on? Do you hear the music in the bistro right now?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, John. Let's just groove for a second. Let's just
It's
groove.
funky. It's cool, man.
Cheers to you. Cheers to season 3.
I really like it.
Here's to Band Directors.
Absolutely.
Here's to the summer, my friend. Oh yeah.
Oh, so good. Let's get into dessert.
What's for
that
dessert?
sandwich?
John?
That sandwich went down so good, and I got enough room, just enough room, for the sweetest strawberry shortcake you're ever gonna have. And a little secret:
Sweet.
your wife gave me some hints about how to make this, and it's a great recipe.
My wife makes one of the most delicious strawberry shortcakes that you've ever tasted. And
I think
it's
I
not
talked to her about
it's not the angel food kind that many are used to. Many would say that is a classic. My wife would vehemently disagree. The classic is actually more of a shortbread. It's more of a crumble. It's a little bit drier than you would think. And what happens is that strawberry juices will melt into this a little bit drier than angel food cake, more like a biscuit. And then of course
It's to die for.
you start eating it with the fresh whipped cream, and John,
and some of the most juicy, full-size strawberries you could ever ask for.
organically grown. I mean,
Oh,
just
oh my gosh.
plump and yeah.
A delicious dessert.
I think I need a
and
refill.
We're going to talk about. Well, I think we can make it through
For some dessert here.
Make it through. Yeah. Get through dessert. Grab a refill. Anyway, we're going to talk about some of our favorite 4th of July memories. Whether it be if we performed.
We've got some good ones.
As
Yeah.
instructors. Yeah.
Oh, in the 4th of July, growing up in Orange County in Fountain Valley, California, which the city motto in Fountain Valley growing up was Fountain Valley, a nice place to live. And I'll tell you, John, it was a nice place to live. And we used to have
remember.
a festival at the 4th of July, and they would bring out all of the carnival attractions and carnival rides, and there'd be concerts, and they do a pretty decent fireworks show. And that was something as a family that we do almost every year, and some great memories from that 4th of July festival.
Well, mine's actually quite similar to yours. Growing up, the city of Mountain View, where Google is now, also had an annual fireworks show in its downtown, city park, Rengsdorf Park. And it was probably one of the 2 or 3 times of the year that the entire family did get together. My older brother, who was, very young, and 2 very young children, had been, just got married, and my dad, my mom, and we would all get together and go as a family, an enlarged family, to see the fireworks show. And prior to that, my mom would also labor all day long to do a traditional July 4th dinner. She would make homemade fried chicken and homemade strawberry shortcake and all the fixings like that. Homemade vanilla ice cream, hand cranked.
Ooh.
And just really.
We need to think about putting that on
once
the
a year.
Menu, John. Although
There you go.
I'm not volunteering to
homemade ice cream.
do the cranking, but yeah, no, that sounds amazing.
Well, our kitchen staff can do that. But I'm saying that my mom would take that one time a year to do those very traditional items, homemade potato salad, things like that. And to this day, I remember how delicious it all was.
Did she make
the family events?
Did she make deviled eggs?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
my mom would make deviled eggs,
Yes.
and
Oh my gosh. Absolutely love
taste them right now. Now
So,
that I'm thinking
you're
about
a
it,
drum-
I can actually taste them. Okay.
I know. Now
sorry,
you think
go ahead.
about it, you can just your drum corps memory, dude. Go ahead.
Oh, well, as many drum corps ought to do, especially today, when I marched in the Santa Clara Vanguard in 1998, we did, I want to say, at least 2 parades on the 4th of July. Some drum corps will do as many as 3 or 4. And 4th of July parade is actually quite a big moneymaker for these corps. And the cities are just, they love to have them, and they will pay to have some of these corps come out and do them. So we were, I forget where we were, but it was an awesome town, and everybody's got their flags. We're all, faces painted red, white, and blue. And here we are coming down the street, and our instructors, we didn't really have a march to play. We definitely didn't have a Sousa march to play. So our instructors, in their, I'll say, infinite wisdom, decided that we were going to play the grog opener on the street. So we had this cool cadence, right? Joom joom jigga joom 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 jigga, right? 120, maybe a little less, and then we'd speed it up. It is jap 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 jap. And I mean, not kidding. We're marching like, 16-5 down the street, and you can see these little kids waving their flags. They're like, "Mommy," it was one of those like, why on earth are we playing this song?
My gosh.
At that tempo? I want to say that tempo was 190, 180. I mean, it had to be 180 minimum. And yeah, and then we'd slow it back down after we'd tap 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 tap. And then we get back into the groove, and yeah, it was funny because, like I said, we didn't have any other music to play. So anyway, that's my 1998 Santa Clara Vanguard 4th of July story.
We never did that when I was in the Corps. We never did a July 4th parade. We would always do the Holy Ghost parade in Pescadero. That was late May or early June. That parade always was, but never did July 4th parades. Years later, teaching youth bands and things like that, yeah, we did. I remember in the mid 90s at Mount Sac in Southern California, it was a July 4th field show. Started like at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the evening. You had 6 or 7 corps, so the last corps was just finishing up right about sundown. You had a retreat, and then after the retreat, fireworks show in the same stadium. So all the bands could watch a drum corps show and see a fireworks show, and all the corps would stick around on the field and watch the fireworks as well. So it was kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, good old days. The good old days.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are so glad that you're with us today.
We hope you had a great holiday. I do want to say that. I mean,
we hope you had a great 4th of July.
We hope you enjoyed it. Right.
And we hope you have a very productive summer, and we're going to be there with you. So John and I are going to continue to produce the Band Directors Bistro, and we hope that if you haven't checked us out on YouTube, go ahead and just do a search for, you got it, the Band Directors Bistro, and you will find this ugly mug and my
handsome mug,
my handsome co-host, and we are excited to be here. By the way, if you're the first time seeing us on YouTube, you should go ahead and check out some of our earlier seasons. We've got 2 seasons. They're available on any device that you can get a podcast on. That's right.
For podcasts, exactly. And for season 3, we are going to have guests upcoming.
Ooh, that's right. We're excited about that.
Middle school bands, high school bands, college bands. So we're going to be talking about all of those angles with our upcoming guests. Now that we've got the visual platform, we want to bring in more people, more experts, more colleagues to be able to share insights and ideas with.
So excited to have those guests, and we are so thankful to have you here with us today. Once again,
absolutely.
My name is Mark.
And I'm John.
And this has been the Band Directors Bistro. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your
See
week.
you next time.
For music educators on the go, this is the Band Directors Bistro.